Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here. I'm going to do a real quick tag from my friend Angie Lupuslife. Real quick. Brad, wave hi.
Hi.
He's cooking right now, so I'll make another video about all that stuff. But this video is called, her tag is called the Starving Artist Tag. It's 20 questions, which I'll copy and share below if you'd like to do it. So let's get started with this. Let me take off my glasses because they're incredibly dirty again. And of course, yes, you never notice until you start filming. So, like, ugh. Okay. No, much better. Okay, the Starving Artist Tag questions. There are 20 of them. What's your favorite experience as an artist? When somebody really likes your artwork, you know, when you have a customer or another artist or just a friend or just somebody from the public that really likes a piece that you've done. Number 2, what's your least favorite experience as an artist? Being frustrated with what I'm creating, not liking something that I've created. 3, what are your dream goals for your art? I would love to have some more gallery showings, and I would love to sell more. I would love to show my work on different platforms, and I just would like to get a few pieces out there. When my life is all said and done, I'd like to know that there's a few decent pieces of my artwork out there that somebody might remember that this person named Teresa Heidi created a few pieces. Kind of an extension of me. What's your favorite medium and why? That's number 4. It kind of depends on the mood. At one point in time it was charcoal and graphite. Then it kind of moved to pen and ink. Right now my favorite medium has been acrylic. Like watercolor still, but yeah, overall my favorite medium is acrylic. And why? I just like the versatility of it. I like there's so many different things you can do to it, so many different mediums you can add to the acrylic, different ways you can use it. So, and I like that it dries fast. Basically, if you have a heat gun or something, you can dry it pretty fast. Number 5, what inspired you to do art? Why do you love it? I have done art all of my life. It was kind of my escapism as a child. It's one thing I felt like I was halfway decent at. And it is just a part of me. Brad can tell you that I will start getting very agitated and upset about life. And I'll say to him, I need to go in and I need to put the headphones on and I need to, start creating art. And I'm just in the zone there. He'll tell you, I'm just take on a whole different kind of a life. And it's how I express myself. And it's just, that's kind of my safe place. Number 7. Or 6. What's the favorite piece you ever made and why it's special? I don't have a favorite piece that I've made, honestly. I have a few pieces I think are fairly decent. So I don't really... I would say one piece that's funny, and I can't show you a picture of it right now. It is off of a piece of log that my aunt and uncle, they were chopping, they were getting firewood, and this real long slab, and it's cut off of a tree trunk, and I did a sunset on it, and that was back in junior high. The thing that's special about it is that was the first and only time I've gotten to paint like that, on wood, like a piece of bark or tree trunk, and that thing has survived the test of time. I guess another piece that, although I don't feel it's that great, is I did a great big painting for my grandfather, and it was the mountains in a snowstorm. And that again was when I was in junior high, and maybe I was in high school at that point in time. I gave it to him. He always hung over his bed, and he loved it. Both my grandparents did. So I have that piece now, and I think it's special just because they loved it. Number 7, what are your biggest art influences? One of my biggest art influences was my mentor and professor in college. His name was Richard Jacoby, and he really pushed me. We would fight. He would make me mad. He would make me mad because he said I produced art better when I was mad. And we went round and round, and then he became my mentor. And, you know, I really, really, I loved his artwork, and he really pushed me very hard and stuff. And he saw something in me that, that he just, I don't know, he knew. And that was mainly, we just did, when I was in college, we had done like a color theory class, and the photography, and which was wet photography, and that, but mainly we did pen and ink and charcoal and graphite. So, I just loved it. Number 8, what did you learn from being a full-time artist? I don't know if I consider myself a full-time artist. Um, you know, I don't know what the definition of a full-time artist would be, because I'm a housewife, so I have certain responsibilities to take care of here in the home, and then I do my loom knitting and different crafts. So I don't know. Let me read the question again. What did you learn from being a full-time artist? Maybe that means like when you were in school and stuff. Dedication. That it's like any other kind of skill that you always need to be practicing. Um, just like if you're a musician, you're always going to be practicing. Or, if you're a singer, you're always going to be practicing. Same way with artwork. A lot of dedication, a lot of hours, a lot of consistency, and always be trying new things. Not to get stuck in a rut of that you're just painting one thing over and over again, or you're just drawing one thing over and over. You've got to be willing to take that next step, that unknown step, the step that you're terrified of, in order to, you're always going to be growing. So I figure probably the last piece of artwork I ever do in my life probably might be my best, because I will have all these years of experience. What do your family and friends think about you being an artist? What do you think about me being an artist?
I think you are an absolutely incredible artist, and I don't think you give yourself enough credit for what kind of artist you are.
I consider myself an okay artist. I can't really tell you what the rest of my family thinks about it. I don't tend to pay any attention to that. I know different family members that we've talked to are really love my artwork and stuff, and frankly, usually that's what they get for gifts. And my friends all seem to like my artwork. Again, I give a lot of paintings away as gifts, and as even thank yous and stuff. So they seem to they seem to like it. Some of my closer friends and family will tell me when they think a piece of artwork isn't as good as my normal, it's not one of my better pieces. And I appreciate that. Let's see. 10. Was becoming an artist your childhood dream? If not, what is? Yes, it was. It was my childhood dream. I thought it would be different than it's taken, and I didn't know I was going to take so many years off from doing it. But yeah, it was. Number 11. What advice can you give to people who want to be more artistic or creative? to just not be afraid to try. I believe everybody, and you hear people all the time say, I don't have a creative or artistic bone in my body, and I don't believe that. In some form or fashion, you do have an artistic or creative place. It just, I really feel that. It may be not similar to mine or similar to what you were thinking it was, but at some point in time, it's like Brad makes some beautiful jewelry. That's not my forte. You know, but everybody's got something that they can do. And if, say, I can't even draw anything but stick figures, well, go for it. Make the best stick figures you can. As long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. Number 12, were you supported to pursue art as a child? Not really. It was kind of treated like, I mean, I was and I wasn't. I was kind of treated like, well, you might as well do that because you can't do anything else. And that was part of the reason why I didn't create for so many years. But, yeah, not really. You know. Let's see. Number 13, do you make money off your art? I go through spurts where I'll make some pretty decent sales. And then I'll go through spurts where I'm not really making anything. And right now I'm in a spurt where I'm really not making anything. Like I said, I do give away a fair amount of my art. You know, if I have a friend who I just want to let them know that I really, really care about them and I really love them as a person, you know, I send them a painting. Or if somebody sends me a gift or something, I like to say thank you with a painting, you know, or a piece of jewelry. I am making some jewelry. You'll see that in the next video. You know, there again, I didn't think I could make classic jewelry. Not like my dear friend Dawn Dunlap did, or Colleen Crawford does, and so many other people. My friend Patricia, she makes some beautiful jewelry, and so does Brad, and this is different, but, you know, so you can't, if you're going to get into it just for the money, you're probably going to stop doing it really fast. So, sometimes I make a little bit. If I make enough to pay for my supplies, I'm happy. Let's see. Number 14. What do you want to improve on, aspire to be with your future art? I want to continue to improve on my skills and just keep practicing, not get stuck in a rut, always be willing to adventure into something I haven't done before, and, you know, whoa, what was that? Is that a gun?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Wow, it sounded like
Wasn't that far away.
either that or a wreck. I don't know, that was something. But I just want to keep getting better. And never lose my my love of it. Number 15, what feelings do we try to express in our art? I express a lot in my art, whether it's for a long time my artwork was very dark, and that's when I was going through a lot of emotional upheaval and stuff. But, you know, sadness, rage, disbelief, happiness, beauty, you know, whatever I'm feeling. 16, what's your favorite thing to paint and why? I normally paint a lot of nature scenes, as you guys notice. That's mainly what I paint, and it's just what I love to do. But, you know, there's a million different nature scenes, you know. And you could go to the same spot, different times of the day, different seasons and stuff, and it will all look different. But yeah, I do a lot of nature scenes, you know, I'm really into the beach scenes and the aquatic scenes, and right now I'm kind of going through a waterfall. Water, like to do. I really love painting water, flowing water, especially like waves and stuff. Go figure. I live in Florida now. Been doing some volcanoes and stuff. So, yeah, nature scenes. Sometimes I like to do some acrylic pours because those are just very relaxing and quick and stuff. And yeah, so I don't let myself do too many of those because my classic paintings are what really is my heart and soul. And I know my mentor would be really bitching at me if I just did a lot of abstracts all the time. Let's see. What's the strangest thing you painted? Probably when I was in junior high, I painted this really weird thing that was like this heart with a knife in it and blood spraying out. It was really strange painting. It really was. 18. Have you ever been hung up after you started a commission, and how did you handle it? Yeah, I have on a few. That's why I don't do commissions, really. I do commissions on the acrylic pours if somebody wants, like, specific colors and stuff. But regular commissions I don't do because I just don't enjoy them. If you're not feeling it inside, I'm not a machine. And some artists do fine. And I did, for a while, do fine with commissions, but it's not something I enjoy. It's not something I enjoy. So, but when I've gotten hung up on one, that's when it becomes a real bitch. Because you have to push through and you find yourself, then it just became a job instead of a love. But you just push through and finish it, and it's just that pressure of hoping that they like what you're doing and stuff. So, number 19, do you admit that paint smells good? Oh, yeah. I love the smell of paint, the smell of paint drying. I love just the smells, the texture, just the whole feel of walking into an art studio or an art area and you've got all this artwork drying and stuff. To me, it smells like home. So, yeah, I admit it. Number 20, what would you tell your younger self? To not have taken off all of the years I did. Let's see, I started college when I was 40 again. I'm 54 right now. So I basically took off about probably about 20 years, 15, 20 years that I took off from really creating any artwork and stuff. Again, I felt like once I graduated high school that I wasn't given a choice on where I wanted to go to college at. And that, I wanted to go to college in Denver, and they wanted me just to go in Casper. And it was kind of put to me like, well, yeah, you should pursue the art because you probably wouldn't be good at anything else. And that was told to me by my mother. And if you knew my mother, you would be like, oh, yeah, I can see her saying that. So I just didn't create. I didn't create for years and years and years. And then I did some commission work, which that was fun because it was full sheets of plywood and stuff. And I, created some stuff. And I did some commercial artwork and that kind of stuff. But really buckling down and, yeah, I wouldn't take off all the years I did. So. But, when you're raising little kids and stuff, it's very, if I had small children at home right now, it would be very hard. I mean, I would have to keep my art studio door shut all the time. And, if you don't have an extra room, it's really hard to have that space to create. So, I figure life is how it's supposed to be. But anyway, that is my 20 questions for starving artists. So if you are so inclined and you're watching this, maybe you want to go ahead and, I was looking to see if I was still recording. Go ahead and make a video too. And I will link the questions below. They came from Angie Lupuslife channel. And I hope everybody has a great day. And I will talk to you later. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.